Welcome back to part 2 on the red couch with Veronica Pastore. Veronica, you and I were talking about the Sarasota Film Festival.
Yeah.
I was going to say the Florida Film Festival.
Different, something different.
Yeah, the Sarasota Film Festival. Yeah. And it's so intense, and it requires so much work, and really for you to step up and just step up your game and be completely on. So right now, you did something very brilliant.
Why, thank you.
Yes. You did one of the most brilliant things I can think of, which is you decided to take a vacation.
I did. Oh my gosh, yeah. It kind of started off just joking about it, you know, and everybody asking, well, what are you going to do after the festival? And I'm going to take a vacation. And the more I thought about it and, you know, the closer we got to the actual event, I was like, no, I think I actually really need a little time off. So I just scheduled myself 2 weeks. I said I'm not doing anything. I did a staycation, which I just stayed here and went to the beach. I mean, why really go anywhere? Like, I love it. We have the most beautiful beach in the world. So
absolutely.
Yeah, so I hung out. I watched movies. I you know, vacuumed my house and things like that.
Things that hadn't been done in a while.
Exactly. Yeah, and it was really great. I really enjoyed it.
Now, how did you get to that idea? Had you had taken vacations before, or had you had times when you burned yourself out and so you realized you needed one?
Yeah, I think it was more the second. You know, in working for myself and kind of being in a self-propelled business, you know, I did tend to just work. And even if I go out of town for a holiday or, you know, wedding or something like that, my computer always came with me. I'm always checking emails. Like, so, you know, I kind of had this habit of I would get sick, like maybe every couple months or something. I would get a cold and be out for a week. And I sort of felt like that was going to be coming if I didn't just take some time for myself. And
so it was more of a preventative thing.
It was like I knew I needed to recharge. And, you know, it's like I read online somewhere that it's not cool to be busy anymore.
Oh, good.
Right?
Oh, I'm glad you told me.
It's a relief, yeah, because again, you know, working in this field and a lot of the people I work with anywhere are self-employed. And, you know, we all have our own businesses and we all work really hard. And it kind of, I think there is some kind of like cachet or like it's a badge of honor to be like, I'm so busy. Yeah. I work so hard.
Right.
You got 6 hours of sleep, I only got 5. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's kind of like that, I don't know, it reminds me of art school actually, but, you know, I read a post online by one of these kind of web guru type of people, how like he's saying, you know, it's not cool to be busy. It's not cool to not take care of yourself. And I kind of took that to heart because I matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very hard for everybody, but particularly for women, whether you have kids, whether you don't have kids, just being a working person and trying to do everything, to not take time to kind of sit back and say, wow, I just accomplished this amazing thing. Let me appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, like you did this incredible thing with the film festival. Right. You made it happen. You survived it.
Yeah.
And you got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you weren't sick during the end, you know?
Right.
So you got to really appreciate it.
Exactly.
So to have a chance to actually reflect back and see, what did it mean to you? What was it? What did it do for you?
Right. Yeah, and I think that was equally as important as, you know, kind of giving my body, like, the time to sleep and recharge and that whole thing, but kind of doing it mentally, too.
Yeah. So let's say someone doesn't have time to take 2 weeks.
Sure.
Say they don't even have time to take 1 week.
Right.
What do you recommend for people to not get sick every 3 months and be in bed for a week? You know what I mean? How do you...
That's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, not that you can resist all germs in the world, but just to not wear yourself out.
Preventative measures. And I think even a day, you know, a weekend would be awesome. But even a day, you know, if I'm really that crazy, and I had to do this a few times during the festival where I just say, all right, you know, it's Sunday, I've got to just shut everything off.
Yeah. And
I have a million things to do, but, you know, I need to sleep in a little bit. I need to not be on my computer today. I need to, like, make some kale juice or something. And,
some delicious juice.
Yeah, and just relax a little bit and recharge. And so that's what I would say, you know, because it's not always going to be feasible for a 2-week vacation.
Right, exactly.
And I probably won't be able to do that again for a long time. But, you know, it's just the little things kind of more regularly and trying to make my daily routine not so hectic.
Right.
To the point where I don't need 2 whole weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting what we talked about earlier was to do those things and not to feel guilty about them.
Right. That's the really hard part for me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I can say, all right, I'm shutting it down. I'm ignoring everything. But it's really hard for me to know that it's okay to do that. To know that it's okay to take a little time off, even if somebody else is still working, or, you know, even if something does need to be done. Because, again, you know, if I'm in bed sick, I'm not any good to anybody.
Right.
So, you know, if I'm not enjoying my time, I might as well not take it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you've done on your staycation?
I was out at the beach a lot. I really enjoyed that. I got a decent tan.
Very nice.
Try not to get too sunburned, but I was out at the beach. I hung out with friends a lot. I had 10 girls over to my house for a barbecue.
That's so fun.
Yeah, on the last Sunday, which was awesome. I haven't done anything like that forever. And just kind of reconnecting with the people that I really like to spend time with. It was awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
So it really was a real vacation, but at home.
Right, by and large.
Yeah, well, you still have to do laundry, I guess.
Yeah, that kind of thing. As good as it could be, but it was great. And, you know, I definitely am kind of a water-loving person. So just being out there really, really does recharge me and help me relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people always ask you, you know, what's next and what are you doing next?
Yeah.
And I don't want to ask you that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I just want to say, what is it like to live in the awe and wonder of not knowing?
It can be really challenging, you know, and I know when we talked, thank you for not asking me that question, because when we talked before, I told you I'm getting it like left and right. What's next? What's next? And the question's hard because I don't know the answer. And it's, it can be a challenge to just look at somebody and say, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've gotten more comfortable with it. And every day I feel a little more comfortable, and you know, I have a lot of opportunities in front of me, and that's kind of what's next for me, is just exploring. You know, like we talked about at the beginning, there are a lot of different things that I'm interested in, and just finding out, well, what is the best use of my talents, and what am I going to have the most fun doing as well?
That's a very good question right there. That could be your answer. Whatever I'm going to have the most fun doing.
Yeah, it really is an important question to me. I mean, you know, having fun and enjoying what I do, and secondarily helping people. Like, those are my two main parameters for deciding what kind of work I'm going to do.
Yeah, those are great ones.
Thank you.
I mean, I think it's wonderful to be able to choose, but also just to be able to live in, like, why do we have to know exactly what we're going to do?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Every time you finish one thing, everyone wants to know what you're going to do next.
Yeah.
Instead of taking a chance to reflect, take time off to look at what you've done,
Right.
and appreciate what you've accomplished.
Yeah. It's been really great. It's been really great, and it's definitely helped me to see those aspects a lot more clearly.
You're a lot younger than I am. I guess everyone is. I'm kidding. But, you know, to see clearly at your age and to see, okay, I want to take time to look and decide and to make the right choices. And we can do that at any age, but I think if we don't do it when we're in our 20s and 30s and 40s, then when we get to our 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, we go, oh no, I didn't even think about that, or I didn't have a chance to do that, or not that you don't always have a chance.
Right.
But wouldn't it be nice to feel like all the possibilities are always available to you?
Right. Absolutely. And that's definitely something I think about. You know, I'm still on the younger side, and I think I'd like to have a family and all of that good stuff someday. So while I'm still, you know, young and free, I want to explore all the options.
Well, it's so exciting.
Thank you.
So if you had a juicy secret
Yeah.
to living a happy and successful life, what would it be?
I think we touched on a lot of it, and, you know, one of the biggest things is just being in today and being in now, whatever it is, and being okay with whatever that is. You know, for me right now, it's not knowing. Last month it was working 18 hours a day, and just whatever it is, like finding joy in it and doing it with people that we enjoy.
That's wonderful. You've inspired me, and I really have enjoyed having you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you for joining us
On the Red Couch.